Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're going to react to episodes 9 and episodes 10 of Revolutionary Girl Utena, and we're very excited to be back for Utena Monday. Last week on Revolutionary Girl Utena we had an episode about curry and about switching personalities and about Nanami getting attacked by wild animals and who knows what else. It was pretty random. It was a bit of a weird one-off episode now that I think about it, but it is what it is. It's the pace I'm going at least until that gets altered somewhat. I don't know. Point being that we're back here, and apparently, according to these YouTube comments I'll get up now, we're about to open up into some more proper content. So I've got to get my, thinking cap on today, and actually try to think about this thing in a little bit more detail. Either way, YouTube comments should be a little bit shorter than usual, I would think. But starting here with End of Valentine, I'm excited because episode 9 is where the show really starts to open up. I'm excited to see what you mean. There was a lot of Saionji and Anshi in like a coffin in the preview from last week, so looking forward to that, I guess, in a weird way. Saionji is kind of a dick, but I have to admit I have a fondness for his luscious broccoli hair and his pathetic demeanor. I definitely agree here. I don't know about the fondness yet, but again, I haven't finished the show, and he definitely does have luscious hair, and I am jealous of that, at least a little bit. So I digress. Essentially, moving on here, we have the next comment here from Sergey. It's funny how the most obnoxious character in the series is as naive as a child. In the face of a lot of cunning manipulators in the show, Saionji even looks like a good guy. Yeah. We'll see. Saionji episode this week. I have complicated feelings there, where he's obviously like bad and terrible, but I think the diary is kind of cute. And yeah, he's a small fry now. Like he's not Torga. Torga's gonna be a big deal, right? And Utena's a big deal, and the prince is a big deal. Saionji, small fry. We don't care about him. Unless things change this episode. Just a little bit of commentary from the comments from last week. I am indeed colorblind, and it's okay that people don't know that. That's fine. I do find it funny that his bedspread is yellow, orange, and green. Correct, that is a little bit funny for sure. I don't really... Now that you've mentioned it, those are the colors that are there. It's true. I think my mum sewed that for me back in the day too, so it's got a fair bit of use. It doesn't even have any holes or anything, which is pretty impressive. It was a good job. That being said, how hot it is at the moment, I'm pulling that thing off basically every day and just using a sheet. But enough about my bed habits, and moving on with Maximiliano's comment here. This again is from last week, not a stream of consciousness. It's not meant as a dig or a criticism. It's mostly what my content is as well. It's just off the top of the noggin. I haven't used like Harvard referencing in my notes or anything. That's basically what I mean there. One of the slight continuity errors are the diary reveal, and if I remember, this is the last time Nanami's lackeys slap Anshi, because they get told basically not to do that because they think that she's aggro now, even though they know that they switch personalities. Anyway, weird. But I'm interested about this continuity error, if somebody could elucidate that in a little bit more detail, potentially on the Discord. Also a little bit of lore, but every time Utena stretches, she is maybe thinking or nervous. A little bit of a nervous tick, maybe a little bit of a fan theory here. I also did this. Check out, I'm going to say Lottie Reininger. I'm going to say that. I've got a few of the things up here. The art's actually pretty decent if I get a better look at it here. Like, you see what I mean? It's probably a little bit better. It's definitely inspiring Ikuhara, who, again, increasingly has this pretty outrageous set of influences for this show. And yeah, potentially I could use these for thumbnails, but my thumbnails, I like to have iconography of specifically the show, and I like it to be attached to the episode that is being reacted to. In a vacuum, yeah, that looks fantastic. This kind of silhouette-y style. But yeah, probably not consistent with the rest of the channel. But anyway, I digress. It was a nice little detour anyway. Probably the longest comment here today from Chobo Ruby, about Juri again, because we're just posting about Juri because we can't stop, us as a collective. And I guess this is an interesting point, right? Bit of personal experience here. I am gay, gender iffy guy. Ikuhara publicly identifies as a straight male, but you know, one seems way more LGBTQ than the other, right? In a similar way, maybe comparing themselves in Ikuhara to Utena and Juri, Utena seems way more gay than Juri, at least outwardly, right? Which is a contradiction, right? But I think when we understand otherness and embracing one's otherness, it starts to make a lot more sense. They both look gay because that's what society has coded gay to look like, right? Comfortable with themselves and flamboyant and out there and all these other things, right? Juri sees this as a disgrace, maybe being influenced by this societal pressure or whatever the hell. Utena and Ikuhara, by contrast, express their differences to show their inspirations. Anyway, I think Ikuhara uses gay people in his shows to be like, hey, you might feel like this thing separates you from other people, and it does categorically, but by repressing that part of yourself, you're actually cutting off yourself from others before you can connect with them. Interesting. Especially in contrast with my feelings on Sarazanmai, which I may talk about in some more detail as we continue with the show. But yeah, I'm with you with that. That's actually interesting because it's not coming from personal experience, at least not publicly for Ikuhara. And I did just notice I had the wrong view up. Very cool. So it was kind of tiny text there for a little bit. But anyway, apparently there's some controversy in the LGBTQ community about the word queer and using queer as a catch-all. So sure, but I don't know if anybody's going to be that semantic about this YouTube video. So it's fine. Couple more time codes here. Scoundrel better than domestic terrorist, in reference to Nanami, I'm hoping. And this is definitely a topic for a larger conversation, right? The reason we can't deal with adult shonen, right? Which is part of my thing as well, even though I enjoyed Chainsaw Man because I thought it was kind of subversive in this regard. Solo leveling being used as an example here, but that's a little bit more, like, it's not directly shonen, but it is, you know what I mean? It's Korean, it's different. Cool. There's no time for character exploration, and this is a big bugbear of mine in modern anime in general. The example I'll go to is Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. The first little bit, right, where we're doing the things with the characters in the past, is pretty interesting. It informs the characters. It tells us how those characters got to the point where they are. And then we inexplicably do like 15, 16, 17 episodes in a row in the same location of just dudes fighting. And I just don't care. I just don't care at all. An example given here is a babysitting episode, which I think is pretty inspired choice. Something like that gives me so much more than watching the dude punch the other dude who's really strong. Again, balance, contrast. If everything is special, nothing's special, right? We need... This is the argument for filler as well. Filler helps separate the important things from the unimportant things. It gives the show texture, right? Then again, filler has its own other bad things that comes with it, but I think even something like My Hero Academia is better in this regard. At least they have, like, funny arcs every now and again. There was the arc with the school festival, and they had, like, the goofy guy who was, like, the villain, and the lolly. I don't know, that was better than, anyway, modern stuff. But that's tangent aside. That's why I'm liking the stuff I pick for the channel generally a lot better. And in this comment here, I believe you mean Saionji, right? Something else to keep in mind is that the show followed a popular Monster of the Week formula for TV at the time, so people were surprised when they saw, I'm guessing, Saionji come back. I'm with you. I thought that we were going to run through these people, and now, hey, we've run through all these people, we've fought a Rose Seal duel with all but Torga, right? Something has to change soon, and maybe this allusion to the show opening up more is what we'll get into there, but yeah. The other indicator here being Torga grows on you after a while because he's so pathetic. You would have to think Saionji, right? Because Torga isn't pathetic, he's pretty full of himself in kind of a funny way as well. And last comment here today from Aisika. Silly as it is, this episode actually does give you a hint or two about Anshi, and Nanami, if you know how to look at it. I think I got some of the Anshi stuff. She seemed pretty comfortable not being in her own body for a bit. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it for sure. Nanami, I don't know about Nanami. She was just a star. She was just hilarious, so... Is she just going to continue to be hilarious? I don't know. Where was the last time you saw someone being really amused about elephants? I don't know. Me? Like a week ago? I love the elephants. I thought they were great. Oh yeah, a previous commenter mentioned that the vice principal was looking for lunch, not lunch. They meant that the school's vice president was trying to take Juri on a date, but sent him with the guidance counselor instead. What? This guy needs to be arrested. This school VP, this vice principal. he's not a good bloke. And I guess on that note, let's jump into some actual content. Last week, it was Curry episode. We didn't really learn a lot. This episode looks like it's going into Saionji. I think we may... This would be the third time that Saionji's been focused on, or at least had a duel if he's going to duel this episode and that kind of thing. Third time's the charm. Maybe something changes. Maybe Utena doesn't get, like, ungodly lucky again. I don't know. She's not really practicing her swordsmanship that much, so... I don't know. We'll see, and I'm jumping into episode 9. I will do episode 10 as well. It'll be 2 episodes this week. Pretty exciting stuff. But I'm just going to do some chill stuff. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. Keep liking them shits. It always does well and makes the video do better and stuff. I like that. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the way to 1,000 subscribers. But I don't know what I'm going to do for 1,000 subscribers, so if you have ideas on the Discord, please let me know as well. Comment on the video, it'll get read out. It's pretty fun and stuff. What else do I normally say? Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord, love Discord, Discord. Pretty poppin' place to be at the moment. And if you want a little hint as to what I'm doing next after Frieren, maybe have a look in that. I think it's Anime General channel. Anyway, I've rambled long enough. It's time to jump into episode 9 of Revolutionary Girl Utena very, very shortly. Rightio, I have episode 20... No, what am I saying at all? Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. Episode 9. Episode 9 of Revolutionary Girl Utena up there ready to go. Time code on that one is 23 minutes and 27 seconds. Using the sum stuff subset thingo. And picture in the description below if you just want that. Because it's pretty easy. Either way, I'm going to give it a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Rightio? 3, 2, 1, go. Maybe a little bit louder. That's a new one. Yeah, we're back. Hello. Hello, everybody that watches Utena with me. Welcome back this week. Say let go of it there? Anyway. Show me that sunlit garden holding hands, please. Don't get me started about holding hands either. It really is a banger opening. Jury the goat. It's true. Torga's like some final boss type territory. I'm feeling that a little bit. Or, you know, him. He's pretty interesting too. Okay, Kendo Duel. Ooh, bit of interest there from Utena. Watching her boyfriend fight in Torga's dreams. Do these kids like have classes or anything? Okay. It's a pretty clever technique too, I like that. Kind of reminds me of Revue Starlight. Stab him now? This is very clever. The broom, huh? Oh, he got bonked on the head. Wait, who won? Am I stupid? Because he's president of the Kendo Club, so did Saionji win? I guess he hit him in the head. Oh yeah, there was some backstory here alluded to. The yellow. Yo. The castle said to hold eternity. That sounds very important. I'm gonna be real with you. Seto Kaicho. Because one's from the, Kendo club, and the other one's the school council president. Anyway, it's weirding me out. So's Choo Choo, to be honest. He always weirds me out. Hello, Mr. Frog. Why does he hate Choo Choo? Okay, Saionji, bro. Okay, so Torga did win. Interesting. Yeah, we're besties. Whoa. It's almost silhouetted, but not really. The colors are cool, though. Yeah, you water those roses. You water that metaphor. Oh, okay. That's a very masculine motivation. Okay, holding hands. Of course. Okay. What are you talking about? Alright, you've got some fucking shit going on, Saionji. We need this backstory, my friend. These voices. Two bros just chilling in a hot tub? Kinda. Why you got your arm around him like that? Who died? It's an amazing shot. That's Scream's thumbnail. Oh. 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 I don't think she was spirited away, dog. Maybe. That would actually make a lot of sense. Torga. What do you say, my friend? Where are you going? In the church? Huh? What is this shit? What are these coffins? I remember seeing Archie in a coffin. Wait, there's 3 coffins. Who's the one in the... How does this... Some like fucking Frankenstein shit. What's up? That's tragic. Feministo? Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I'm putting two and two together for sure. Well, yeah, what was an extra coffin? Well, I mean, I understand why you feel the way you feel. I understand why you feel this way. Well, you clearly do. Vampire? Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. And that's where this is coming from. And this jealousy of Torga. Whoa. Whoa. This just blown my mind. Okay. I fully understand the green boy now. It's still not great. And you shouldn't have broken the glass. I'm like that they're talking about this too. Hmm. Hmm. You see? I don't see. Was it you? Saionji seems to think it's you. Does Saionji know who Utena is then? Does he put two and two together that that's the same girl? Anyway. Yeah, I remember. Indeed. Love. Was she hunched over? She's got amazing posture. You get off her back now. Yeah. Do you want to talk about this some more? Oh, the little blush is cute. Oh! Stop bribing me with soda. More for me, I guess. Well, this is a cool shot too. Oh, you got a letter. You see the gold. We know what that signifies. Alright, you're being called into action, my friend. Okay. I don't get it. Fascinating. I'll talk about you later on. Sure. Choo Choo's in the bag. Choo Choo's in his bag. I will not tell you. I will continue to eat chip. Huh? Red hair? Red hair? Alright, bad guy. The bad guy's back. You're literally hurting me. Okay. That loves a slap. Very interesting. I'm interested to see if this comes to fruition. Alright, does he get his little version of the same cutscene? No? Okay. Favoritism. Alright, time to save the princess. Alright, you fell over. Hey, yo. Huh? He's sleeping with the fishes? Well, where's my girl Ouchie then? What happened? Auntie. Oh, she did get spirited away, did she? Yeah, I remember. Sure. Mm-hmm. Look at the yellow. I just said that. Nope. You allegedly opened it, but I'm more interested to see what actually happened now. Is the castle down? Oh, in a coffin, you reckon? Think about it. I'm thinking. Some kind of cruel joke, isn't it? Is she made out of stone? Cool. Stone's pretty eternal. Ah, she's alright. She's still moving. Or not. Yeah. Got a castle up there still? Yep, true. Bro is losing it? Cool. Move? How about move? Consider moving? No. Okay, he fucking died. Is my boy Saionji fucking dead? And Utena thinks she's Crash Bandicoot? That's good. Hey, okay. We saved the girl, baby. Kind of. Just have to worry about gravity, of course. Oh no, the castle's back. No, he's okay. Oh, that's cool. The organ. But you didn't. I've got a lot to say about this. I can't wait to say it all. Alright, she's back. Never in doubt. Watch out. There's a crazy green man with a sword. Oh, okay, that's great too. Who jumped in the way? Is that my boy? Red hair? What a hero. Yeah? We'll see. He's just so inadequate. Alright. We might see closing off the end of the episode here. Oh! Oh! 5D chess! Yo! This guy's fucked in the head. Okay, that episode was amazing. Just life sucks if you're Saionji, right? It just does. You're just not very good perpetually. But now Torg is in cahoots, at least way more than anybody else in the game, with the end of the world. Because he said, I used your name. But he essentially used it to eliminate Saionji from the game permanently. Because he's expelled, right? You have to be a student of the school. That was the whole thing, right? Utena had to participate, otherwise she would be expelled. I remember that from early on in the series as well. Yeah, there's a ton to talk about on every level. On a plot level, on a theming level, on a visual design level. Just a ton. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Nice to see some different sides to Utena this episode too. She always seems so assured of herself. So seeing her a little bit flustered is nice. I like that. Again, texture, balance. It's good. Alright, a little bit of a next time on. I am going to just watch it, so maybe not. Yeah, we'll just pause here. We'll be okay. So yeah, jumping into a bit of analysis on episode 9. Like now. I'll do that now. So I guess I'll talk about my overall idea of the episode before going into the specifics. I guess on a critical level, already it's just like an incredible episode of television. It gripped me. I didn't really want it to end. Watching this in a weekly format would be tantamount to torture, which I'm kind of making everybody go through a second time, which is funny. Anyway, back to my point. Torga Toga is obsessed with rivalry, and rivalry is closely associated with masculinity. Very cool. He's way more concerned about him in comparison to Toga than any victim in this circumstance, right? He is self-obsessed or duo obsessed to the point where he can't see outside of this. He is constantly faced with his own inadequacy. What else is this scene here after all is said and done, right? Where they're standing up the next day looking at her. Yeah, here, right? He is coming to terms with the fact that he thinks that Torgo was the person that went back and got her out of the coffin, right? He's also very young here. He's being faced with another big challenge, which is that life is fleeting. Life goes away. Life can end. Life can end in an instant. And in the face of that, he needs to find something eternal. And that eternal thing is also something he needs to have to get a one-over on Torga, right? They're one and the same in that way. Not for one moment in this process is he genuinely concerned for the victim. I don't think anyway, right? He's hesitant to look in the coffin, he wants to run away, he's scared, and then the whole time after that, he's instead kind of thinking about Utena like a little bit, but more so thinking about himself. Now, contrast, right? Let's go to the end of the episode and see what happens, at least metaphorically, right? Cool. So one, he tries to be an asshole and like steal Anshi and take her to the place, right? Which is against the rules. She says it's against the rules. I have to imagine something of what happens to Saionji here is just the game or the system acting out upon him, leaving him unconscious, head down in the water, which is a bit fucked up, but anyway. And this is blindsiding Anshi as well. She's trying to keep the rules the way the rules are meant to be, but you know. So then we're going to go up here, right? So then gets found unconscious, blah, 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 go up here. We see that Anshi is in a coffin. He is being faced with a very similar scenario to the scenario that happened in his past, right? There is a girl that I need to save that somehow represents this metaphorical understanding of the term of eternal, right? Like, she was in a coffin. We opened the coffin, she was made of stone, then she came back alive again. What is that if not eternal? Or that was just a technique with colors. Anyway, I digress. He needs to save the girl. He needs to rectify his sins of the past. Torge isn't here. This is my one opportunity to win. To do the thing that I wanted to do way back in the day, but didn't because I wasn't him. Cool. And talk about missing the forest for the trees, right? He notices that the castle is starting to come down, right? This is my final thing. They say that the castle itself is something that's eternal. We said that when we were back at the flowers early in the episode as well, right? Like, this castle coming down and visiting me will mean I can finally attain what I wanted to attain. Now, missing the forest, Anshi, for the trees, the castle. Anshi's already here. What you needed to do in that situation is, instead of focusing on your rivalry, masculine thing with Torga, right, which may be also a little bit that way inclined, we'll get into it, you should have been focusing on Anshi, the same way that you should have been focusing on Utena in the past. And, of course, he gets his just desserts. He doesn't get put up on a pedestal like Utena. Instead, the castle crumbles and falls on him. And Utena is left to jump in and save the princess that is standing right in front of her. And then, in a fit of rage, after everything that happened, right, seeing his inadequacy mirrored back at him once again, he goes for the sword, pure ego, pure anger, right, at being inadequate again, tries to strike Utena down, and then is just sunned by Torga once again. He can't win. He made every wrong move you could have made here and got played by a fool by my good friend over here, Torga, right? Again, he made a good move here, much like he made a good move here, where he won in the little kendo duel. Very, very, very smart episode. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed just talking that through like that as well, just in fullness, right? We'll go through it again. There's some interesting stuff with Utena I want to talk about as well, but that's my major point of the episode. Like, Saionji just got sunned by Torga in a very, very bad way. It's gorgeous. Look at this. Gorgeous. And then, of course, if we keep going, all of this stuff here is gorgeous too. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I'd love to see who storyboarded this one. I'd love to see that. I'm gonna look that up. Apparently, we're looking at one Takiya Igarashi, who is the director of Oran High School Host Club and Soul Eater and Bungo Stray Dogs, among other things. Obviously working at Bones during that time. Yeah, specifically directed this episode as well. Storyboarded this episode plus 19, 25, 30, and 37. Interesting. And of course worked with Ikuhara on Sailor Moon as well. Yeah, extremely talented man. For sure. Yeah, he's very good at his job. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the start of the episode and we're going to watch it again. And I'm going to try not to say the same thing twice. That's going to be my little challenge here. So episode starts, there's going to be a duel. That duel is between Torga and Saionji. We do a very clever thing here by... There's a lot of female fans in the room, right? These female fans are being signified by kendo weapons, right? Saionji missing the goals right in front of him and focusing on this masculine rivalry between him and Torga. That's what I think is being signified here, right? I don't see women as women, right? I see them as a means to continue fighting with my boyfriend. I mean, Torga, right? Like, is that what's getting across here? I think, maybe. Like, extreme focus on the kendo thing is my point. And yeah, again, the girl's obviously leaning up against whatever this barrier is, right? Trying to get a better look, cheering for Torga, cheering for Saionji. Kind of that shot mirrored there again. It's just beautiful. I don't know what they're starting. That sounds like a voice I recognize, but I didn't see any other characters in the scene that would have been they're starting. I don't know who would have said that, but they're signified with a broom as opposed to a kendo stick. I guess you're cleaning your dojo with a broom or something like that, right? Oh, he's not that bad. I guess he's not just a playboy. So this is what is telling us that Torga is winning, right? Looks like the Prez won this one, Seto Kaicho. Again, it was confusing, but it was Torga that won. I thought the guy that punched him in the head would have won, but anyway, they'll hit him with the weapon. This episode is gorgeous. Holy fuck. Look at the characters in the background as opposed to Utena. And her like fading in here too. That is glorious. Glorious. This is also important for early Utena stuff this episode as well. Here's the word prince. Looks down at her little ring. Torga's in the vicinity. There may be something to this. And then these two just like bicker back and forth for a little bit, right? I thought we were friends. You were my one and only friend. Why do you look at me with such disdain? And then the yellow here is interesting, right? Because yellow has been built up in the show, this radiant color, as somebody's radiant thing, as something that is very, very, very important. A source of passion, right? A thing in the past that potentially they want to hold on to. And we'll see it applied later in the episode as well, and in some more direct ways. I don't really see how that there on Utena, while these characters are just kind of, oh, maybe Utena is reminiscing in a weird way. She doesn't seem to have memories or strong memories of either boy, right? Which is a bit weird, considering how formative that kind of experience would have been, losing parents and then so on and so forth, with the coffins. But she doesn't seem that like she knows them like that. But maybe she sees them and is maybe thinking of something in the past involving her prince? We can say that. The episode being called Castle Said to Hold Eternity is very important as it pertains to Saionji this episode as well. So we see Anshi minding her own business, Choo-Choo likewise minding his own business, before getting annoyed by a green creature, right? I wonder if Anshi is also going to get annoyed by a green creature this episode. One can only theorize. Also, okay, follow me on this one. Prince versus a frog? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. There's maybe something in like seeing the green frog annoying Choo-Choo, Choo-Choo screaming in pain, and then saying that he's the pain in the ass as well. Again, Saionji just sucks in general, but like, I don't know, man. Torga's manipulative. He's fun. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but this episode's really good. Torga kicks Choo-Choo. I must say the thought has crossed my mind as well to do so, but Utena's essentially here just putting him in his place, right? Saionji proclaims that he's going to defeat Utena in the next duel. Utena says, well, you need to beat Torga first. He's the guy that you should worry about. He just beat you. We've sparred many times over the past 10 years. Again, implying a long relationship between the two. Yeah, they've been practicing kendo together for a very long time, these two, as we could see by this kind of nostalgic tone to this image as well. Again, the character designs being much shorter. Younger men. I will not lose to him. I will win the Rose Bride. Rose Bride in center frame. Come down. We're focusing on pink roses versus yellow roses. Maybe. Yellow. I don't know, she's watering everybody. I don't know if I should be that focused on rose color right in this scene. Here we learn a crucial detail about Saionji as well. He is only concerned with Anshi in so much as it helps him triumph in a duel over him, being Torga. Anshi is literally being used as a possession to get one over on his rivalry with his male friend. Like, that screams you don't understand the themes of the show, right? It just does. Now I want to talk about this. So we have this really nostalgic shot of these two. One is holding each other's hand, one is down on one knee, they're almost fucking embracing, right? And Utena's right in this scene, right? She's like, so you're just doing this to compete with him? That's terrible. You're literally using Himamiya right now. You wouldn't understand with Anshi by my side, I will attain something eternal. And that eternal thing is pretty important, right? We'll see this progress as we continue with our flashback, of course. Because Anshi told me that she desired eternity as well. Which probably is more indicative than I'm willing to say right now of the way the show is going. Anyway, more on the Torga and Saionji being, gay train. Look at that. One hand around his midsection, sharing a tandem bike. I don't know, in the pouring rain. In a very platonic way, why not? Oh, this is very theater as well, right? So they're in shadow here. It's like shorthand for Utena for a flashback right now, right? Before we pan up, we look at the church, right? And then stop. And then it's like a light is turned on for us, like a stage direction, right? The two of them become focused in the scene, and it becomes a lot more clear than the flashbacks we've seen up to now are. It's a way more involved section. It goes on for a good 5 minutes or so. I won't stop talking about this shot basically ever. Look at the intersection between these 2 points, right? Conflict. Right? That's fucking fantastic. The colors, the rainbow here, maybe signifying rose colors and that kind of thing as well. The obvious architecture denoting a church and funeral, and you quickly put 2 and 2 together about whose funeral it is. It's just a fantastic shot. I love it. So yeah, for the uninitiated, this is Utena's parents' funeral, and a couple people around, couple adults are looking for Utena. They don't know where she might be. The 2 adults bring up that she might have been spirited away, something which Torga kind of runs with as well. Like, he's obviously thinking that maybe she would have been spirited away as well. Maybe that involves his thinking later on when Anshi actually gets spirited away in a bit of a weird way. We're being very fluid with who is the prince and who is the princess as well with the whole Utena thing, right? Because way back in the day, she is literally taking the place of Anshi in the present, if that makes any sense. She is the princess in this scene, which is very much not her character in the modern day. Or at least part of her character, I don't know, a little bit. I think the shot there before was signifying Torga looking through the window and seeing that there's 3 coffins. My thing is, why is there 3 coffins? Did they think that maybe the accident was bad enough that, whatever the accident may have been, car crash or whatever the hell, that Utena may have needed a coffin as well and just ordered one? Did she recover? Did she recover miraculously? Was she in a coma? Some of these things, maybe we're not meant to think about them, I don't know. As I explained before, Princely jumping in, trying to do something, scared, standing back, letting Torga do the stuff, being one-upped by him in his own mind again. We find that Utena is in the coffin, of course. This doesn't really fit with the story that Utena tells about her own origins, making me think that Torga is continuously not the prince, right? I think he wants Utena to think that he's the prince. Or he may think he's the prince, but he's not the prince. It's one of these ones, right? Because he's not a good guy. We see at the end he still hasn't dropped his playboy ways and is scheming behind the scenes. He's not telling everybody the truth. These don't scream princely guy to me, right? Again, always one step ahead, opening the coffin, grabbing her hair. I'm a gentleman. Torga's still standing back, questioning the whole thing. And then there's very important dialogue, matched with this wonderful zoom out showing both of the coffins, right? This is the place I belong. My father and my mother died today, and there was an extra coffin. It had to be meant for me. Being alive makes me feel sick. Awfully sick. Why do we keep on living when we're all going to die someday anyway? Nihilism? At least a little bit. Why did I never notice that before today? There's no such thing as something eternal, is there? And this is hidden home for Saionji right now. There is. Life is fleeting. Probably the first time this is being presented to him in such a direct way. So don't bother with me, I'll never leave this coffin. But someone will find you at some point. And if that happens, I'll find another coffin to hide in. I'll stay by myself for the end of time. Torga walks away. Saionji questions, aren't you worried she'll do something stupid if we let her be? If you're that worried, find something eternal and show her. At that same moment, the bandage that was on his hand from the small wound from the kendo match comes undone. I don't see a scar or anything either, which is a bit interesting. Something eternal. So then, the next day, she's out of the coffin, right? She seemed pretty hell-bent on staying in that coffin, implying that something happened overnight to get her out of said coffin. Now, who did that? Saionji thinks that it may have been Torga, showing her something eternal, leading up to this inferiority complex which persists to this day. Yeah, I was sure that he had shown her something eternal, right? He's always ahead of me, that guy, stepping into a world beyond me. So then, when he hears about Rose Duel, right, because he's part of the student council, at least at one point, about Anshi and something eternal waiting within, he becomes obsessed with getting one over on Torga and finding that castle, and sees her as just the key to do so. And is pretty intense about it, shattering the glass there of our sunlit garden. Okay, this information's crucial now that I think about it as well, right? So Juri says, I should say, that Utena said that she came to this academy for this prince. There was a prince that saved her back in the day. It was the reason she came to this academy. She is looking for him. That girl is quite the romantic. A prince, huh? That's what Torga's saying. So, is he formulating this in part of his plan, right? To get Utena on side, right? Because having the protagonist of your show in the palm of your hand seems like a good idea if you're going to continue to be, I guess, a little bit dubious of character. Are you running the long game as it pertains to Utena? To the point where it could be Judgment Day, it could be shit is about to hit the fan, right? And then you could say, I am the prince from back in the day. You're gathering all this information. You're doing the legwork to get her and all this kind of stuff, right? Us, the audience, know it's not legit, but Utena falls for it regardless, gives you the keys to the kingdom, and we go on our merry way. Is something like that going to occur? Are you just a master manipulator? Maybe. We cut back from the ad break and we have Utena daydreaming, right? About the prince, about the words, about the promise and all that kind of stuff. Like, we'll meet again, won't we? Soda on the face. Oh no, it's like a tea. It's like an iced tea or something. So Utena was daydreaming about the prince, but then she goes on to talk about the castle. You must know something about the castle, the floating castle you can see above the dueling arena. I wonder what it actually is. Torga says that castle is where you will meet your prince someday. And then yeah, a little bit of a blush from Utena. Somebody talked. Grab of the waist, ooh, very provocative. And then it's like, that prince was a guy like me, was he not? But yeah, Utena's flustered, right? You stop screwing with me, you're messing with me, you're obviously not. Somebody talked. There's a rational part and a irrational part of her brain going in two different directions here. Yeah, flustered. Good. It's a good look for her. And then, yeah, he downs his little soda and like a bit of a, I accomplished something down the drink in a bit of a weird way like that. Cool. So now we're in firmly Saionji's point of view, right? Look at this. Saionji. He lives in the darkness, apparently. He lives in like a noir detective setting. I don't know why, but he does. Cool. Then we see this. This is his radiant thing. This relationship between him and Torga and this rivalry that he had with him. It allowed him to get stronger. It'll add a sense of camaraderie. You can kind of understand where he's coming from here. At least I can, I think. Either way, the plan is in play, right? He gets a letter. He believes the letter is from the end of the world. And the letter essentially says that the castle is coming down tonight, right? You gotta be there. You probably should be there with Anshi, right? And you'll finally get that thing that you wanted. The eternal thing, right? And again, Torga's in his fucking head. He's planning all this shit. Then we have the Shadow Girls, right? So one of them believes in UFOs. The other one is skeptical, saying that it's a shooting star and whatnot. Yeah, adamantly denying the existence of UFOs here is the one goal, right? It happened when I was in kindergarten. I found out that Santa Claus does not exist. And then the cross of the arms there, which is fun, implying that there's somebody making the shadows in the scene as well. And then I got it, right? That wizards, that fairies, and princes on white horses, and kind-hearted friends, all of them were only found in fantasy. I became disillusioned, right, with the rest of the world. Potentially nihilistic. But that's okay. I get it now, so at least let me keep believing in UFOs. Don't allow me to have no hope in my life for something beyond this. Now, as you can probably imply, I'm applying this to multiple characters. One is Saionji continuing to hold on to this something eternal, which may not exist, even after it has been, I guess, proven false in the past by Utena, right? She is of the belief that there isn't anything eternal, at least in that scene. Saionji holds on to that. He realizes that he can prove that eternal things exist, which seems like a motivation of his, plus get one over on Torga in the same breath. So let me do that. Let me believe this thing that is, on the surface level, probably obviously fake. But at the same time, you apply that to Utena, who is potentially holding on to this dream of princesses and princes on white horses and all this kind of stuff. Let me keep believing in that kind of stuff, as opposed to anything else. That's what I'm getting from it anyway. It's a pretty interesting little Shadow Girl segment. Cool, then we'll start to move at a bit of a better pace here. Utena's looking for Himamiya. We can't find her. Choo-Choo's eating a potato chip or something. And cool, now we see another step in Torga's plan that I'm understanding here, right? There's a ring at her phone. She answers. I don't know why she answers in such a polite fashion, considering she's the only one that lives here, but I digress. Himamiya Anshi will be spirited away tonight. Go to the dueling arena. That's Torga putting on a bit of a voice, so we don't realize who it is, except, you know, the red. However many other characters have red hair in this show, I don't know. And then hangs up. Basically, I want Utena at this location at this time. I think she is crucial to my little plan that I've put together. One, to get Utena wrapped around my little finger, and another to get or eliminate another player out of the game in Saionji. So here's Saionji. He's kidnapped Utena. We're going to take her to the dueling arena. And Anshi continues to be a stickler for the rules, but I don't think Saionji's concerned that much. The end of the world told me to come down tonight. It must be part of the rules. Proceeds to slap her again. I won't let anybody else have you. The only one to attain eternity with you will be me. Again, no concern for Anshi in this process at all. Hyper-focused on this masculine rivalry thing with Torga. Again, hard contrast with Utena, right? Who is sticking her bum out there, which is cool and stuff. But she's like sprinting in to try to save Anshi. Like, that's the point of what she's trying to do. Focused on saving the girl. We wake him up. He doesn't really understand what he's doing here. It's implied that whenever this end of the world people running this thing, whatever the hell, they've dealt with him. He was doing the wrong thing. This is very clever too. He hears the word spirited away, right? And it makes him think back to this initial interaction, this motivator for everything. And then he connects all the dots and thinks, Anshi, where is she? Before that, he didn't really understand what was going on, and now he's way back in. Either way, the gate is open, the way to the dueling arena is open, and the two of them run up together. And yeah, we see a coffin. It's almost like it's been designed to torment Saionji. The coffin opens, and he's faced with, again, Anshi, the princess in this particular scene, and gets these vivid flashes of, don't open it. There's nothing eternal. There's nothing waiting for me out there. If life can be slow fleeting, then why don't I just wait here and wait for it to end? There's no point in continuing living. all these things that torment him. Anchi turned to stone, right? Or maybe not. Maybe just colored in a weird way. And yeah, the dueling arena quickly takes Anchi away. Throws her up into the air, way away from her. Tenjo Utena, however, gets taken up with her, right? It gets this platforming section to prove her might. The castle then begins to crumble and fall, weirdly enough, right? If the castle's coming down, that's great. I'll get what I want anyway and don't have to focus on the girl right in front of me. So again, is this happening? Is this not happening? It's unclear by the end, right? Unclear. It's more of a metaphor than anything else. And what it gets across, I believe, is some kind of divine punishment for Saionji in the face of Utena, who, on the crumbling platforms, continues to jump away and try to save Anchi. Divine punishment, dies in his own little mini dream there, compared with Utena, who's saving the day. Yeah, look at her go. Crazy. Again, either that happened or it didn't happen. Either way, Saionji failed, and Utena's the one grabbing onto Anchi, telling her to snap out of it, having saved the princess. And then Saionji to himself here. No, I was the one that was meant to save her from the coffin this time, right? To grab that eternity, the power to revolutionize the world. I want all these things, and somebody else, not even Torga in this situation, but kind of Torga by proxy, has jumped in the way and done it instead. I'm not going to allow that same thing to happen again, and flings himself into a violent rage. So I just wanted to extrapolate on this point a little bit more, just a little bit of kind of like a summary of what I've been talking about. Saionji is not concerned with the human toll and the human victims in the situations in which he comes across. He is self-centered or centered on Torga. It's one of the two, but they're both one and the same, really. So back in the day, we have a victim. We have Utena. Her parents have died. It is basically the lowest point in her life. Instead of focusing on helping her in any way he can, helping her out of the coffin, inspiring her, blah, 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 whatever it may be, he is self-focused. He is focused on his understanding of what something eternal is based off that. Torga then suggests to find Utena something eternal to save her. He does nothing of the sort. Instead, he can't help but think of Utena out of the coffin, and how Torga must have shown her something eternal to make that happen, which I'm not sure is even the case. It's maybe even based off a false pretense here. Either way, he walks away from a situation in which somebody's parents have died, thinking about his own problems, which is kind of crazy. Teleport to the current day, the same thing just played out in that dueling section. We have Anchi. She is a victim. She needs more human autonomy, or she's essentially a slave. She feels like she's a slave to whatever this end-of-the-world Rose Bride system is. And instead of being concerned with saving her and caring for her, and listen, even Saionji's had some build-up. He has a pretty good relationship, apparently, with Anchi, right? Based on the diary. So he throws all that away because he sees the one thing, this eternity, coming down towards him, right? He's hung up on the past, but he didn't learn the mistake from the past either. He didn't save the girl right in front of him, and he got his just desserts in the end because of it, in both situations. Just, yeah, at every turn making the wrong move. It's, yeah, very impressively written. There's multiple layers to it, and I'm not even talking about Torga in any of it either, who's very, very interesting. So yeah, shoutouts to this episode. The whole time, Utena hyper-focused on Anchi, making sure that she's okay, Himamiya, making sure that she's awake and stuff. Genuinely trying to save her, focus on the girl, right? But what exactly happened here? Even Anchi isn't sure, which is funny. However, she gets a warning that there's some ne'er-do-well behind her. And then, yeah, we get this again, right? Very similar to the church, right? And the red, Torga, jumps in the way, saves the day. Saionji, in his own way, trying to be the prince, has become the villain and expelled in the process, right? Torga, instead, has framed himself as the ultimate self-sacrifice guy here. Jumping in the way, your prince was a guy like me, was he not? Utena asking why he's here and all this, embracing him now. It's working perfectly, I think, right? Look at that, concerned eyes and stuff. Saionji asks why? Because I'm feministo. Is that what he says? Let me hear this. Yeah, feministo. That's very funny. I'm a super feminist, you know. I'm a gentleman. skip to this scene, surrounded by 3 young ladies, playboying away, literally like on the phone with the guy that he's like put together this scam with. Gentlemen aren't underhanded like that. He's a bad guy. Okay, cool. But he's a very smart bad guy. Yeah, he's very funny. Torga's great. What a great villain. I think he's being framed as a villain anyway. Gets a call, supposedly from the end of the world. The letter Saionji received tonight was from me. I was playing 5D chess. Right in your name. Again, implying that he's talking to the end of the world. Was the wound that bad? No, it was a shallow wound. Well, let's just say it was something of a performance. Yes, Saionji is facing expulsion. Nonsense. Only a fool believes in friendship. None of this camaraderie rivalry thing that I had with Saionji was ever real. And I think we need to dive into your backstory to see where this comes from. And is all of your princely acts performative? Think of the fucking bull running through the street and he saved Nanami, right? Was that performative as well? I don't know. And then all of that, obviously, in combination with a lot of the theater-esque techniques used in the episode too. Thoroughly fascinating. The best episode so far. I think I've said that like 3 or 4 times now. So, the show is incredible. What a great episode. How good. Works on every level. Works on a plot level. Works on a character level. Works on a metaphor level. Works on... It's just brilliant. It's brilliant. And we're going to watch one more. Hopefully, and bear with me here, not as intense. Because I kind of went in deep on that one a little bit. So yeah, I'll be back with episode 10 relatively shortly. But this was great. This was awesome. And we're back. I have episode 10 up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 27 seconds on this one. So please sync up accordingly. Picture in picture. Same subset and everything. So just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm definitely recording. I don't know why I keep looking over there. Just had an apple and it was very yummy. Shoutouts to Fruit and shoutouts to Revolutionary Girl Utena, whose episode 9 was very good. I really hope I clicked on 10. I don't know why I wouldn't have. I guess I can check. Yeah, I did click on 10. That's good. Revolution. You know what's been annoying? I think my phone's listening to me and I say the word Utena and it's sitting right there. I'm on TikTok, I scroll. Oh yeah, here's Utena. Get it off my screen. I don't want to see that shit. Same with YouTube. YouTube just shows me Utena opening, and I'm like, I don't want to click on that to give YouTube even the slightest idea that I'm interested in this. They are listening to me, I swear. I'm not insane. At least not yet. Maybe the show will send me insane slowly. Hitting the road, are we, big boy? Broccoli man? Do they really announce it on a board like that? That's funny. I know what he did. But he thought he did. Do we want to investigate that at all? You're a clown. Oh, this is so performative too, right? All denim fit too. That's crazy. Very 90s, now that I think about it. What, he just incinerated the diary? This guy's insane. Okay, Nanami episode, let's go. Let's go chat room. Talk is so funny. Just incinerates the diary. Oh shit. I know. I'm well aware. If we do not break the world's shell, we will die without being born. It's true. Okay, lads, what should we talk about? Is that a real letter? Okay, convenient. Okay, so Mickey wants another match. Juri wants another match. I get the feeling it'll be neither of you. I think I know who it might be. Ow. I knew you wouldn't be impressed about this. I probably should have noted that. What do you want me to do? Yes, Onisama. Is the duty of a knight. Yeah, you're egging her on too, Torga, for sure. Very different looking Utena there too. Very different. Alright. Do you want to talk about it? Oh, shit. Interesting. Like, this has had your faith wavering. Alright. Speak to me, Anshi. Show me something. Always. I do. Sounds pretty good. Actually, I would like a large burger. What the fuck are we doing? Oh, okay. Sure. I thought you were pouring milk for her, and I was like, that's a whole nother level of show. Well, this is like the opening. This top-down shot. Yeah, set of roses. It'll be cute. Ew, you're not allowed to have that. Okay. Flashback? Question mark? Interesting. Oh, cute. The voice. Ew. That's like it's kissing the tears away again. Similar to, Utena 1. They're definitely very well off, aren't they? Oh, what a heartthrob. Brother and sister, by the way. Brother and sister, by the way. Give her another smooch. Yeah, see him crying. Kiss my tears away. Okay. Odd. What does Nanami think about that? Huh. Huh. What was the box there? What party? Oh, house party. Hell yeah. What's his house? Okay. This is very official. Oh, it'll become clear very soon. Yeah, it kind of needs to be set up in the plot for it to make sense. It makes sense for it to be Nanami, I feel. Bit of a tsundere. Okay. Oh, I was making fun of her for sure. All right, here she is. Mm-hmm. Get out of here. Well, those are the bully girls. Okay. Give it a rest already. Well, no, that's not true at all. Slap? Oh my god. Everyone's getting slapped. Okay, now this is like scandalous. I think we're implying that the cat we got was for Torga. Gotcha. And you're taking offense to that, obviously. Gotcha. So, let's duke it out then. Let's go up to the arena. Put Nanami in her place. More elephant shenanigans, less of this. That's where I stand on the issue anyway. It's my party line. Gotta be able to see the show too for this hat. God. Yep. I mean, you said it. Those were Mickey's words, by the way, I remember. Korneko. Oh, she hates it. So what happened to the cat? The old one. Huh. Huh. Nanami's evil? Thoughts? Gotcha. So there's your box. So she killed the cat because there's rushing water there. And a raven, which is a symbol of death. I don't care, I'm putting it all on the line. Oh. I just, in my back pocket, just sent an extra one. But how'd you get that? Was it in the envelope? Now, see, this is less of a surprise if you don't watch the opening. Or, you know what I mean. It's more of a surprise if you don't watch the opening. Mittens the kitten? Mega Death Ray. Something like that. Bone Crusher. Dunno. No, you don't understand how names work. I love... Giuliano's a great name for a cat. Somebody said, hey, here's my cat. He's called Giuliano. Bro, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Alright, let's go fight Nanami. She seems to be a dual-wielding class, which will be interesting. Now I want to see some song lyrics for this Nanami little piece. Nah, but she's like evil. Like I joke around that like, oh yeah, I enjoy Nanami on screen and that kind of thing. She like murdered that animal. Thoughts? Did she murder that animal? We're gonna need to go back and have a look, but I think it's being implied that she murdered that animal. So you're like a bad person. That may be a good like cold open Discord question. Just, hey Discord, did Nanami kill that cat? Something like that. Hey chat room. Yes, indeed. Now say apocalypse a bunch of times, but like spelling it differently and starting on different syllables. Yeah, like that. Yes, indeed. It's a really strong character design for Utena, isn't it? And that there's pretty good too, I must say. Very princely. Yeah, we know. Do we really have to do this is crazy. It would be funny if she won. And it's like, oh yeah, Archie's just here now, and she's like your bestie. This soundtrack moment's always really nice too. The reflections on the sword too. Shining of the ring. Smart. Alright, let's fight. No, she's not dual wielding, she's got one sword. Aren't you like 13? Fucking spectatorship theory. Okay, ignore lyrics. We'll do that later. You sound very similar to Utena. Flashbang? Oh, here he comes. Okay. I won. You were a pushover. But my question is, Torga noticed something. Grounds for expulsion? She's attacking you with a knife? This is literally what Saionji got expelled for? And there's the dual-wielding part. Gotcha. Okay. She cut her hair. Or we cut her hair. Also, sorry about getting up. There's somebody at the door. Okay, will you murder the cat? Yes. Yes, I will. But you regret it. Okay. Sure. She did try to murder me still. Thoughts? Forgive me for murdering your cat. Yeah, I know. I know your game, Torga. I know your game. Well, that's all well and good, but she definitely murdered that cat. Yeah, cool. Song was pretty banging, though. She definitely murdered that cat. The box keeps opening, and I don't know if that's trying to imply that there's a little bit extra to that scene that we don't see, or it's trying to imply something metaphorically about Utena, who is also metaphorically being represented as the cat. Think about earlier, right? When she was kind of in a pose crawling towards the bowl. I thought that was some weird fetish shit, but actually it was a setup. You're meant to think of her in a very similar way. You're getting between Nanami and Torga, and for that reason, you must die. You must die a terrible, terrible death. Very interesting episode. I don't think it's on the same level as 9, but definitely a lot of concepts there. And again, Torga's cooking. He's cooking in the background for sure. Hopefully I can sync that up again, me getting up and me sitting down, and it won't look too jarring. And I hope I remember to do it for the YouTube upload too, not just the picture-in-picture. All right, next episode, let me give me a little taste. Okay. Questionable. Yeah, cool. You're falling head over heels for the boy. Sure. So yeah, Torga's cooking. He's cooking as fuck, and I'm going to talk about this some more like right now. So see you in a second. So yeah, episode 10 in the bag. We start here on some weird Saionji wrap up stuff, which I think is this is not the last we've seen of Saionji, I don't think. But it's more, where's the star of the show here? There she is. Show me something. Show me something. That'll do. There's the star of the show. It's a Nanami episode, everybody, but not the funny kind of like curry misadventure type Nanami episode. No, the Nanami episode where she acts like a psychopath and kills animals and stuff. Maybe this is like just desserts. All the animals attacking her in the rest of the show is because like kind of karmic justice for what she's done in the past. I'm gonna have to interpret it that way for sure. So you are delusional. You are in love with your brother to the point where you gave him a gift that you thought would have been a good gift, but then because that gift also took his time away from you, you took his gift away just as you gave it. However, that gift was a living being, and thusly you are irredeemable, which is awesome. I still think you're funny and stuff, but bad. No, I want to get like the squirty bottle and like, show her a lesson. And yeah, essentially like she's going to participate in the dueling system now, but in a bit of a different way. She's not wanting the power to revolutionize the world per se. It's all about keeping Torga away from Utena. It's a way more spiteful, violent type fight as opposed to wanting to get involved in any of the end of the world side of it, right? She wants a reason to fight and try to kill Utena, the same way she tried to kill the cat, or succeeded in doing so. I don't know yet. Like, do you know what I mean? She wants to kill Utena. It's not about getting the prize, getting Anshi and the Rose Bride and all that. She wants to murder, like she's murdered in the past. That's why when the duel is ended, essentially when her rose gets cut, she continues. She continues to fight, right? Where's a good shot of her continuing to fight? Like that. Yeah, she's kind of psycho with it. And normally I like that kind of thing, but not here. Not here in the slightest. Let's go back to the young green boy and we'll start again. But overall, the episode was pretty good. I don't think it's on episode 9's level. I don't think we're operating at the same level thematically. The cat stuff is nice. I like that. But I think it is furthering. These two episodes seem linked. I'm happy I watched them together. And Torga is cooking. I think that's the overall future takeaway from this 2-episode block. He is cooking. It looks like a lot of that is going to come to fruition relatively soon, because he's going to fight Utena, and then okay, if he's fighting Utena, then he's put in the groundwork right now for Utena to find him very sympathetic, to think that he is the prince from her past. I think she's going to fail. The legwork has been put in for Utena to be set up for failure in this next encounter, and I'm curious to see where that goes, I guess. All right, I'm going to rewatch the episode now, and we're going to see Green Boy in his full denim suit get chucked away. He's going to go somewhere else, and I don't know. He's probably going to be back at some point, let's be real. Because we've set up an arc there, and we haven't closed it yet. So yeah, you could almost see this as just desserts for Saionji as well. Saionji Kyoichi, that his expulsion gets put up on the notice board the same way that Wakaba's love letter got put up on the notice board way back in the day. A little bit of revenge there, a little bit of karmic justice. However, you can't help but feel bad for the guy in this situation. He got bamboozled. He got manipulated to do something that he didn't really want to do. He's still kind of violent and stuff, but like, I don't know, I feel bad. From these two here, we learn that the prevailing theory is that he just did a personal duel to take the Rose Bride as opposed to waiting for the end of the world to do anything, which is grounds for expulsion, as we learned very early in the show. They don't know about any of Torga's secret manipulations behind the scene. Ultimately, he turned out to be the clown of the student council and got kicked out accordingly. I'll do everything I can, as fast as I can, to get your expulsion overturned, says Torga. Now, us, the audience, we know that you planned the whole thing, so I don't think you're going to be working particularly hard, but it's interesting to note that Torga is still putting on this kind of impression of a stand-up guy, right? As the moral victor in this whole escapade. To the point where, again, upon self-reflection, I'm going to give the exchange diary I have with him and Mia over to you, right? I'll make sure that this diary gets to her, says Torga. Right? Again, blatantly lying to his face. It's almost, I see myself as unworthy now. I'm going to hand this over to the real prince. He's handing in his badge and gun. He's done. He's walking off into the sunset. I think to be seen again, but for all intents and purposes, he's gone. He's out of this now. He's going to move on to bigger and better things. Hence the sack over the shoulder as well. Yeah, we're best friends after all. You know what best friends do. They chuck very, very lovely, heartfelt diaries into an incinerator that we have on campus for some reason. But yeah, that's just funny. That's cool. This episode here is called Nanami's Precious Thing. Nanami's Precious Thing is Torga. I didn't think that one would be that much of a brain buster, and I was right. We start the episode proper with another student council meeting, and after our student council elevator introduction stuff, we get handed a letter from the end of the world. Another duel has been called. According to our order, it should be Torga who is fighting next. However, his wound has not healed. Therefore, Miki and Juri both respectively think that, hey, we're next. It must be one of us, right? And they're both keen. They're both keen to have a go at Utena, and they're still not over their own personal little radiant things. Juri's a little bit more pressing than Miki's, I would say. However, the two of them are being too hasty for there is another duelist. However, we're not going to reveal who that is until later on. I would have to imagine that the audience would know who it is, because the episode's called Nanami, and we see Nanami in the opening dueling Utena. So, like, you would have to be stupid to not know. I think that's the vibe anyway. It shouldn't be a surprise. Another really obvious technique they use there is like, well, who is this other duelist? Oh my god. And then like cut to a scene with Nanami. So that is shorthand in filmic technique language stuff that Nanami is the person in question. It's like a character asking a rhetorical question, like in a western or something. Who's going to save this town from the bandits and that kind of thing, from the banditos? And then you pan over to another scene where you get an introduction to the main character proper. It's pretty easy stuff, but yeah, makes it obvious that Nanami's the person in question. So Nanami's being kind of unfair, which is fair enough. She doesn't have the full story here, right? But she sees that Torga's gotten hurt and immediately starts to blame Utena, somebody that she doesn't like very much anyway. However, the more interesting part is how, I guess, reserved Utena is in all of this, right? Like, she doesn't fight back at all. If I was more alert, none of this would have happened. She is genuinely feeling for Torga here as well, and even maybe manifests some of this bullying. Maybe she thinks that she's somewhat responsible. Another really fun one here, right, is you're mad as fuck, right? VLC behave. You're mad as fuck. We hear one Nanami come from Torga, and then another one needed for her to calm down. She was that into and aggressive with Utena that, like, it needed two. Like, she needed to be snapped out of it almost. Yeah, Utena's very different over these two episodes. That early setup of her not knowing who the real prince is, and maybe thinking it's Torga, is definitely paying dividends now. It justifies why she's so different in these scenes. Like, he's saying all the right things. A knight rescues people who are in perilous situations. As long as you're safe, I'm satisfied. You know, but it's an act. We know it's an act, right? And of course that riles on Nanami even more, right? Because she just saw a somewhat affectionate scene between those two. It's more justification that, you know, what I think is happening may be happening. I wanted to highlight this frame of Utena as well, just very, very different from her normal look. It's something about the eyes. There's something in it for sure. Like this, contrast this face, and I'll get another one up. This kind of stuff, right? Like during this. Even that, way more focused in the eyes and determined and less blushy. Another example there, again, I think there's just a lot of differences in the face for sure. This kind of feeling continues for Utena into the night. She's very much not herself, bottled up in a ball, in a dark room, really blaming herself, right? Is it true? Is it really true that a girl can't be a prince? Her worldview up to now, her early establishing incident reason why she is the way she is come into question. She's maybe seeing my actions as a prince being a direct consequence of Torga getting hurt. Is this a reason why I can not continue to do this, right? Is it true that I have to fall back into my princess role in a way, fall back into my bride role? And, Torga's reinforcing this every step of the way, putting her into a box almost, making her question these things. I think episode 11 and subsequent episodes from there will reinforce this more and more. However, Anchi is here to save the day, here to cheer her up, ask him what's wrong, you seem depressed. I'm depressed because I got the student council president hurt. Well, yeah, we should go give him a visit, right? Tell him thanks. Maybe that'll make us feel better, see him feeling better. Makes sense, right? Just respectful stuff. Because to their knowledge, he put his body on the line for them. So, sure, sounds great. Because he technically did save both Anchi and Utena in that sense as well, hence the 2 gifts from either of them. It's very interesting that one of the gifts is flowers as well, and it doesn't come from Anchi. That's interesting. Oh, and then this, okay, so then Anchi pipes up here, right? Behave. Like, oh, of course, are you hungry by any chance? Not talking to Utena right now. Instead, talking to the cat that's in the box there. Bit of a weird looking cat too. Very tiger-like in a weird way. Now, the one I wanted to highlight is this. Like, you're on all fours crawling towards a bowl of milk. This is shorthand. You are being associated in my mind with the cat, right? You two are linked now. And now we watch the rest of the episode with this knowledge in mind. Very, very smart stuff. Utena-sama, there are a lot of roses blooming right now. You are visiting him, right? You should bring him some roses. Pretty on the nose, but you understand what's going on here. Surely no one would ever be displeased to be receiving flowers. And then we get a flashback, right? So straight out of that scene, and this was a bit confusing for me in the moment, right? Birthday cake, big grey filter indicating that it's the past, and we hear the name Torga very early, right? There he is, the boy. If I can grab him, because his design's a bit weird. There he is, that'll do. Where's the glorious locks, my dude? I'm trying to get a timeline together. When did he grow the hair? Because it was very long when he was hanging with Saionji, right? During that flashback. But here he seems very preppy, right? I don't think they would allow him to have the long hair like that. I don't know. I don't know if long hair is a shorthand for being a little bit rambunctious like it is in Western stuff. Either way, here's Nanami. She didn't bring a gift for him, and so she's feeling bad. She's like, oh no, blah, 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 blah. I'm like crawling somewhere. I found a stray kitten, maybe? I was in the mud trying to find a cat. Just seems odd, but sure. And yeah, it's a filthy, stray little cat there. It's pretty cute, though. The dad tries to take it away. No, I don't want to give you the cat. Wait a minute. Thank you, Nanami. There's also a crucial little part here where you see her start to cry. So now, when he goes in for the little eye kiss, you understand that he's trying to kiss those tears away. Very similar way to the prince versus Utena, right? During her little early setup stuff. Backstory, that's a word. And then we have her signature colored roses. I think Jiri was meant to be orange, so I'm imagining that you're the yellow character with the yellow roses. So this was an important scene for her. She's even dreaming about it in the current day. Nanami is awoken by Torga practicing his kendo skills, right? However, he shouldn't be practicing at this time, considering his injuries. He's going to reopen the scars and that kind of thing. And she's pretty worked up about it. She really wants him to stop. Clearly cares about him a lot. If anything ever happened to you, I would hate it, any of those things. See the tears in the eyes again. The grab of the chin there, the lean in, awaiting a kiss potentially. kissing those tears away again. A little bit of a blush. Ooh. Clearly she feels different things about this situation than Torga does. Aren't you going to give me a kiss? I couldn't possibly. We're no longer children, you know. I guess it is more socially acceptable for sibling children to do stuff as opposed to sibling teenagers. That's definitely true. Like, I have siblings. When we were very, very young, obviously would bathe together and that kind of thing. Obviously something I shouldn't be doing now, unless I'm, you know, the same way that Nanami is inclined, which I'm not, for the record, which is good. Yeah, and obviously that barrier has been passed. However, you still want to maintain affections here and that kind of thing because you're a big freak. So yeah, we're left all alone. I really like this shot here, just kind of this isolation, no one else around her. She doesn't want to be left like this. She wants to change things as they are right now and sees Utena as an obstacle. However, in the same moment, like, gets transported back to when she was going to do the stuff with the box, right? Like the box is here and it's raining and she's taken back to that moment. That's very interesting. Utena and Anchi try to see Torga during the day. He's not attending class, however, he will be at a party tonight, maybe indicating that his condition is a lot better than he's letting on to everybody else. If you can go to a party, you can go to freaking school. Sound like a parent. So yeah, it's Torga's birthday party. He's invited everybody. His family and everybody else is pretty well off here. It's, you know, it's a rich kid school. You know what I mean. However, Juri is still curious about who this other duelist is. I think we're going to find out relatively soon. The duel is scheduled for tomorrow night. Torga says that the stage is already set. So he already knows all this shit. He's just trying to put the pieces into place. Utena's here, hands him the flowers. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm just here to wish you well, Barker. Very tsundere. However, it's kind of like a bad feeling tsundere because he's such like a bad guy. I don't know, it's a weird one. Torga thinks this is hilarious, that you're giving excuses when putting over flowers. That's so like you. He's putting on the Riz right now, and I think it's kind of working. Another two little scenes intermittent here are Nanami getting a look there, and then Choo Choo having a laugh too. What is this plate? Huh? Is this Choo Choo's plate? And she's very interested in him. I'm going to imagine this is his plate. Otherwise, this person is insane. As we saw before, Nanami was spying. She runs down and quickly slaps the flowers out of Utena's hand, getting in between these two once again. Clearly disapproving of this again, even quoting here saying that Utena was the one that hurt you. Why are you getting so close to her again? Just completely irrational stuff like that. And Archie's in here to save the day, stepping up and protecting Utena, which is new. It's kind of like the switch in personalities again. Please don't be upset at Master Utena. It was all Saionji's. Cue the slap. There hasn't been an episode that's gone by without her getting slapped, so, you know. Calling Anchi the root of all of this, blah, 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 blah. Here's a cat meow from the box that she's holding, and again gets flashbacks back to this point. And now the gossip is spreading. They've made a scene. Everyone thinks that Utena and the student council president are a thing now. It's out in the open. However, I can't help but feel like Torga is manipulating everything perfectly. Again, this birthday scene is clearly here to contrast with Behave. It's clearly here to contrast with before, during the flashback when he was receiving birthday gifts as well. That's why the cat thing is so prevalent, right? Archie is here, or they're both here, because they're fulfilling similar roles, to give Torga a cat, the same way that I did, right? Like, literally replacing me in the mind of Torga, which is bad, because I like my brother and I want to dominate his thoughts, or whatever the hell. However, we separate. Nanami goes out and just relaxes for a bit. Well, cools off, or tries to. And yeah, we get a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Utena and Torga here. Nanami seems to have never grown out of her brother worship phase, he says. I think it's way worse than you let on there. We quote Mickey's words there, having you as her brother really skews her perspective there, which is true. But does she know the real you? The way that the audience knows the real you. I'm still thinking about what you did to Mickey as well. We get a bit of context here. I had a birthday back in the day. Nanami gave me a kitten. I love that kitten a lot, although the kitten disappeared soon after. No other present than that kitten has made me that happy. And cue Archie to give you the kitten that we have in this box here. Happy birthday. It's pretty adorable to see him with the kid in here as well. However, Nanami hears this, hears him laughing like that and gets interested, right? And yeah, okay, this is great too. So Nanami stumbles upon this, right, and gets a flashback to back in the day, right? Where she wants to go pick some apples with her brother, right? She wants to possess him. She wants to, you know, be that way inclined. However, the brother is callous. He is playing with the kitten right now. The kitten? Oh my god. He's playing with the kitten right now and doesn't want to deal with his annoying little sister. It's callous, but it's a pretty normal reaction for a big brother, I feel. Like, I don't want to do what my little sister's doing the entire time. Nanami shows that she's a psycho and slaps the cat for getting in between the two. Like, this is literally psychotic behavior. And yeah, that only exacerbates things. Leave him alone, he was only playing. And then yeah, this is your fault. You came between me and my big brother. See box near rushing water, right? See a crow or a raven, either way they're a symbol of death, and rushing water, right? That implies that she killed Cat. We see it played out in greater detail later on, which definitely does imply that she killed Cat, but, like, you're a psycho. Why did you kill the cat? So then, yeah, we chuck a rose at Utena. I think that signifies that we're going to duel, I think. Nanami's jumping in and challenging Utena right now. Doesn't want another thing getting between her and her big brother. However, the warning is already there in the previous episode. If she does anything untoward, right, without a proper setup or anything, she's going to get expelled. So we need to indoctrinate her into the Rose Bride process. She needs to get a rose seal, which Torga inexplicably has. I'm going to imagine it was just in the letter from the end of the world. And yeah, these two learn that Nanami was the duelist that was teased early in the episode, and Nanami's now involved. She has a rose seal. Very cool. Shouldn't this be cluing off in Utena's head who the prince may be? Or how the prince may be involved? And how linked they are with the end of the world? If she just got a rose seal from supposedly the end of the world? Shouldn't Utena be knowing this, or is that a little bit more of an audience thing that they would know and not her? So yeah, tomorrow night we have a duel. There we go. And now I don't really understand the Shadow Girls here. We're just kind of naming stupid nicknames for kittens. We start off with mittens, and then she keeps adding qualifiers to it. Like, it needs to be unusual and special and formal sounding and all this kind of stuff. And you just say the qualifier. So if I said, like, oh, I wanted something that, you know, tastes like blank, you would just say blank. I want something that kind of tastes like strawberries. You'd say, you should just eat strawberries. That's not very helpful, is it? But then by the end of it, one of them has already come up with a nickname called Giuliano for a cat that is way closer to the light than the girl. So I don't understand what any of that means. Just kind of jumping in at the very end and giving it a nickname anyway that was actually all the qualifiers when you're being obtuse earlier. I don't know, it's weird, I don't understand it. Either way here, I didn't really see much through this section that was different about Utena's approach to the dueling area and all that, so I'll skip through that, because I've got a song to read. I've got a new song for a new character in Nanami. Cool. First we see character design. I don't know where she got the drip from, but it's pretty cool. She actually looks very similar to Utena, like a lot, which is interesting. Definitely like eviler though. And yeah, again, aiming at the two of them. The two of you are eyesores, always hanging around my brother. This is both simultaneously for Utena and Anchi. Remember, Anchi being the one that brought the cat. This is another cute detail I just noticed. There's a rose at the very bottom of the sword. I don't know how that's relevant at all, but I just think it's kind of neat. So cool. Nanami's like a Dex build. She's got like kind of a Dex longsword at the moment. She's using that, which is pretty epic. And yeah, we're going to not focus on the dialogue. We're going to focus on the song for a bit. So let's just do that, and you'll see the scene, the moments in the scene play out, and the beats and that. I'll talk about those later. Either way, Genesis of the Earth, stage props, Laplace's Nebula, spectatorship theory. So, my cursory Google searches, this is a theory about how the solar system, our solar system, came to be, which is very similar to Genesis of the Earth, said in the previous line. Spectatorship theory, to my, again, cursory Google search, was to be like a little bit more of a meta film thing, apparently considering the spectator of a film whilst creating a story, which is interesting. I don't know how to apply it yet, but sure. A general theme of beginnings early. The same way that Nanami is being introduced to this system, this is the beginning for her. An immutable illusion, a riddle-solving clock, the baby carriage at immortality's edge. Sure. Eternal. Immortality. That's something. Baby being beginning. My eternal self, the eternal stranger. I don't know who I am. Two relations, two births, a mysterious scale, a constellation of the human body. Okay, we're definitely got a bit of a space theme going on. Constellation of the human body. I don't know myself. A mysterious scale. Two relations, two births. That's kind of like, you know, Nanami and Torga, right? They're related. But both have been born into this system in a way as well now. Both are now two births. Like I've been born once, and now I've been born again. Now I'm involved in the Rose Bride stuff. As there's a break in the song here, because there's a break in the scene, because the thing's happening, there's a nice instrumental moment as well with some choir vocals, which is quite good. Time is a hypothetical illusion of the newborn stage prop. Destiny choices, the theory of goodbyes? What the fuck are you talking about? Time is an illusion of the newborn stage prop. Newborn stage prop? Anyway, this is beginnings. Lots of beginnings theming. You and I are the Milky Way. There's that kind of celestial theme coming back through again as well. No past, no future. We live solely for today. It's kind of like Nanami putting it all on the line, right? There's nobody exists except for me and Torga. We're alone in the theater of the cosmos. That's me. Wait. My last evolution, revolution, evolution. I like evolution there too. Like forever in evolution. Alright, cool. Now I'll talk about the beats of the fight. Cool, so the fight starts. Don't underestimate me. For the past 13 years I've been watching my brother. She's surprisingly quick. Torga seems relatively unimpressed as this whole thing's going on. He seems to really focus in when the prince drops down. Nanami says here, I know everything there is to know about him. Meaning I know his sword techniques as well. You can say our fighting styles are one and the same. I even received this ring from my prince. My prince will lead me to victory. Very similar to Utena's prince, right? Who gave her a ring, right? Speaking of, her seal starts to glow here. I think it's hers. It's one of them. And here comes the prince from the legend, the prince that was promised. The narrowing of the eyes there from Torga implies that he has some amount of knowledge of what's going on here, that the tide is changing. And yeah, in that moment where we fling her sword up into the air, we're able to cut her rose off. For all intents and purposes, she was a pushover, and if she respected the rules of the dueling arena, this would be over. However, this indicates that this isn't really about the Rose Bride, or Archie, or any of this. This is a personal vendetta against Utena. My fight has only begun, grabs a dagger that she had hidden in her sleeve, and slashes away at Utena. I don't give a damn about the rules. I'm going to run in, jeweled in class. She's been awesome and stuff. Even chopping away Utena's white rose here, right? As we see there. That frame, if I can grab it. Yeah, there we go. Maybe cutting away her ability here too. This is the first time she's really been separated from her rose even. And to that point, she just starts dodging. She's under a lot of pressure. And backed up against the wall, goes for the final slash here, does Nanami. And Torga yells, that's enough. Something crashes off something and cuts Nanami's hair here as well. In that very moment, as the hair is cut, we get the full picture of the flashback, right? Nanami standing in the rain with the box, supposedly containing the cat, right? And pushing it into the water. This is your fault. You came between me and my brother. The raven there, flying away. And I will say she does show some second thoughts here, at least a few. Like remembering how happy the cat made him, at least initially. We also see the box like open for a brief moment, which makes me think maybe the cat jumps out. I don't know. And basically we finish up here. She just vows, I will get you, Utena. But we're leaving on an uneasy alliance here at this moment, let's say. Nanami, there's no need for you to fight any longer. I will protect you. Maybe that's talking to next episode when Torga's going to do the dueling thing. And yeah, again, the tears, right? Let's say, like here. Waiting again for these to be kissed away, I feel. Rubbing against his chest like that. And then, yeah, again, box opens, you're running away. Forgive me, big brother. Yeah, everything's working okay. I don't know how it is, but it is. You seem like you planned this too.
This impresses Utena. You can act like a good brother sometimes. I can't ignore a damsel in distress, is what he says. It's just the prince in me. I've got that prince in me, he says. I got that dog. No, wait, I got that cat in me. And then, yeah, that again sparks Utena's interest. Prince mentioned. Her fucking brain goes crazy. And yeah, I've gathered all the data I need. The power of Dios will be mine. It's what Torga thinks to himself as we leave here. And we have some more lyrics here as well, I should say, which seem to be very similar to the last set of lyrics. No past, no future. We live solely for today, all alone in the theater of the cosmos. Yeah, this is very similar. Yeah, but it's a great moment for the episode to end, like kind of the music building to this crescendo all through this kind of period here, all through this. The music's building, building, building. The same like motif played through the whole thing. It's actually really, really well directed. Story-wise, Torga is bad news. That's what we're getting out of this here, I believe. So yeah, episode 10 in the bag as well. Pretty interesting. I liked it a lot. 9 is definitely the star here. It's the one I enjoyed the most. And next week looks like we're getting more Torga shenanigans, looking like his plan is being put into action. And I have some fears for Utena, but also it's very early in the show, and I get the feeling that it's going to change at some point and become something else. Less monster of the weeky and move into a little bit more of a serialized format. But yeah, this was fun. Thanks for watching and stuff. Here's my show stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord, love Discord. Discord. And yeah, I'll be back next week for more Revolutionary Girl Utena. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. Cheerio and all that. See you next week.